Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Football Tonight podcast, a new video. My name is Chris, the American Mag. And of course, in this channel, we bring you the latest trending news in the football world. And we got to start with a bad one. It was really bad, according to Szoboszlai, Liverpool player, who plays also for Hungary. And they played yesterday against Scotland. And it was a big situation there. And it's because Barnabas Varga had a horrific head injury in a collision with in the play with the goalkeeper. 26 years of age, was knocked unconscious after colliding with Angus Gunn during Hungary's Euro 24 group stage match against Scotland on Sunday. And it was horrific to say the least. And this is, by the way, thanks to the Sun for this report. But he also calls for a change. And right there, Szoboszlai almost pulling the cart, bringing him in. He was knocked out unconscious after colliding with Angus Gunn, as I said. He required immediate attention, but the players were left furious when some paramedics appeared to be walking onto the pitch instead of running towards the aid of Varga. He said, I don't really know the protocols or how it works, but if our doctors say we need someone immediately to help, then I don't think they should walk. He also says it's not my decision, but I think we need to change something. Even if someone is on the ground and you know that it was a big collision, then just go onto the pitch. He says even the referee is saying, don't go on, just go on. He's saying, don't go on, just go on. And then didn't get that one. But he said, and if you can see it's nothing serious, then you can just go down and finish. But seconds can help a lot. Szoboszlai wore Varga's shirt after the match in a classy gesture following the incident. Let's take a look at what's happened here. And if you are a medical profession or somebody that has a lot to do with this and knows about this, then obviously let us know in the comment section what you think about this whole situation. Now, the collision happened here. It was a free kick by Szoboszlai, and right there is the collision. Look at Varga right there, arm up. He just falls really. Look at that. He falls, and he was immediately. His teammate knew the way he fell in the collision that it was. Oh man, that he needed immediate medical attention. Obviously, the managers and everything were being angry, telling the paramedics to go onto the pitch right there. It was a tough play. I don't want to show too much that I shouldn't, but that's the goal, whatever. But the collision was a very tough and apparent, and even the referee right there telling them, everybody kind of knew what's happening. Everybody knew what was happening before anybody else knew. Obviously, onto the pitch, the way he fell was really tough. So it was a tough situation, and of course, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and act as if I know what the protocol should be and how they should act. The fact of the matter is that they did walk onto the pitch. Maybe they didn't think it was that serious. Maybe the communication onto them wasn't the greatest, and so maybe that needs to be changed. But maybe not. I have no clue. See, it's easy to criticize, but at the end of the day, we just do not know what's happening. So all we know is that Varga is stable. He has multiple fractures in his face, and obviously he's going to miss this Euros. There's going to be no whatsoever. No way he's going to be coming back onto this Euros. And it is what it is. I mean, unfortunately, he had to be sent off this way, but it's for the better of everyone. Let's move on to the next one, and it is that Gareth Southgate's Harry Kane has come out and talked about an incident and about a situation. A podcast Gary Lineker hosts. He basically called the match against Denmark a shit show or a shit match. Well, the England captain right now, Harry Kane, came out and spoke on this situation, and he was very clear. He didn't hold back on a few words, even though he was very polite and very, a very even keel, very elegant, I guess you can say, in his response. Still was a response nonetheless. And let's listen to what Harry Kane had to say about Gary Lineker, former England international. Obviously, he played for England, Gary Lineker. He played the final against Argentina in '86 and did not win it. And Harry saying, well, we've all been here and we've all lost. Let's take a look at what the one and only Harry Kane had to say.
Finally, I don't know if you heard his podcast, but Gary Lineker had a word to describe England's performance in his podcast. Do you think it's helpful for somebody like him to describe it on the eve of such a big game, particularly when you're top of the group with 4 points? And do you think maybe you should stick to flogging crisps?
Look, I think it's always, I'd never want to be disrespectful to any player, especially a player who's worn the shirt and knows what it's like to play for England. But, of course, I think what maybe ex-players or ex-players who are pundits now have got to realise is that it's very hard not to listen to it now, especially for some players who are not used to it or some players who are new to the environment. So, I always feel like they have a responsibility. I know they've got to be honest and give their opinion, but also they have a responsibility of being an ex-player, an ex-England player that a lot of players looked up to, that people do care about what they say and people do listen to them. So, like I touched on, everyone's got their opinion, but the bottom line is we haven't won nothing as a nation for a long, long time, and a lot of these players were part of that as well, and they know how tough it is. So it's not digging anyone out, but it's just the reality that they do know that it's tough to play in these major tournaments and tough to play for England. But look, I'd never disrespect any ex-player. All I'd say is just remember what it was like to wear the shirt, and that their words are listened to, and some of the lads, or I don't know how many of the lads, but you do hear it, and we all want to win a major tournament. I'm sure they want us to win a major tournament, and being as helpful as they can and building the lads up with confidence would be a much better way of going about it.
Ooh, he's right though. He is right in that sense. Sometimes ex-players get carried away with their opinion. I've seen many that I could name, top of my tongue, Gary Neville, Lineker in this particular situation, and many others. They forget sometimes where they came from, and they forget sometimes that they were there and they couldn't get it done themselves. So you've got to take that in consideration when you give your opinion, especially if you're an older player, because nobody was out there saying, using this language anyway, saying they are shite. Who was out there criticizing Gary Lineker for losing the '86 final to Argentina that went beyond football? Who was out there saying that they were shit, that they were awful, that they were disgusting, that they were a horrible team? Nobody was saying that. And I'm not old enough to even have been in that era, but I guarantee you that nobody on television was saying that. And I know that now is different. Everybody has a podcast and more freedom to say anything they want. But I do agree with Harry Kane on the sense that you have to be careful with things that you say, because it might not affect somebody like Harry Kane, but it might affect somebody, a young lad that's coming up, that's trying to make his way, and obviously this could affect them. So there you go. All right, let's move on with more news real quick. The Lazio have opening a bid for Man United outcast Mason Greenwood. Rejected as Serie A giants rival Juventus are interested as well. Oh man, that's interesting. Lazio have reportedly seen their opening bid for Manchester United. Greenwood rejected, but transfer talks remain ongoing. So we'll have to monitor that and see what's happening. The next one is that AC Milan is showing interest in Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and as talks continue with Newcastle for striker as well. So Newcastle are interested. I know that's my club. I'm not necessarily interested in Lewin, but that's the way things go. But also interested in Minte. Everton is very much keen on signing Minte. Minte apparently wants to go to Everton, so maybe there could be a deal there for Lewin. However, AC Milan interested. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd like to go to Italy instead. On the next one, we got Michael Olise. As according to Sky, of course, it is reported that Bayern Munich agreed to a €60 million, £50 million transfer deal to sign Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise. And as far as that is, including add-ons, of course, to bring in Olise to Allianz Arena. Chelsea dropped out of the race to sign Olise this week, according to this report. The 24 summer transfer window closes on August 30th at 11 p.m. UK, England time, of course, UK, at midnight in Scotland. So there you go. Anything can change. However, it looks like Olise might be going to the Bundesliga. Last but not least, Chelsea, according to this report, where was it? They signed a young star right here. Let me look at it. There it is. Chelsea announced signing of Estevao Willian from was he from Palmeiras? Yes, it is. He is 17-year-old winger from Palmeiras. Will officially join Chelsea next summer after he turns 18, and he did celebrate like this, the Cole Palmer Cole celebration. He did do that. As far as other news for Chelsea, they hold talks with Jonathan David. Chelsea held talks with representatives of Lille striker Jonathan David about a potential transfer this summer, according to The Athletic. So there you go. Nothing more than that. He is a Canadian international. So look, they're growing their their repertoire, the Canadian team. So all right, no wonder, because they play well against Argentina. Anyways, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening, for watching the Football Tonight podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and smash that like button. And we'll be back on the next one. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Ciao, ciao.